Welcome back to session 5 of GED Science Mastery. This is a happy milestone. We are stepping into life science, which is about 40% of the test, and it begins with the cell. Every living thing, from a single bacterium to an oak tree to you, is built from cells. Here is the secret to cell questions. Do not just memorize a vocabulary list. Understand what each part does, because the GED loves to ask, which structure carries out this job? Learn the jobs, and the names stick by themselves. The friendliest way to picture a cell is as a tiny, busy factory. Every factory has the same basic parts, and so does a cell. There is a boss's office that holds the master instructions. That is the nucleus with the DNA. There are power plants that generate energy. Those are the mitochondria. There is an outer gate that controls every delivery in and out. That is the cell membrane. And there are workers on the floor building the products. Those are the ribosomes, building proteins. Match each job to its part, and you already understand the cell. Let's zoom in on two key parts. First, the cell membrane. It is the outer boundary, and it is selectively permeable, a careful gate that lets some things through, like water and oxygen, while keeping other things out. It controls what enters and what leaves. Second, the nucleus. In a eukaryotic cell, the nucleus is the control center, and it stores the DNA, the cell's master set of instructions. A simple way to keep them straight: the membrane manages traffic, and the nucleus manages information. Now the two workhorses. The mitochondria carry out cellular respiration. They release usable energy from food. That is why the mitochondrion earned its famous nickname, the powerhouse of the cell. If a cell loses its mitochondria, it struggles to get energy. The ribosomes are the builders. They assemble tiny pieces called amino acids into proteins, and proteins do most of the real work in the body. So remember this pairing. Mitochondria release energy, and ribosomes build proteins. Energy and proteins. Two different jobs, two different parts. All cells fall into two big families, and the difference is simple: the nucleus. A prokaryote is a cell with no nucleus. Bacteria are the classic example. They are small, and their DNA just floats in the cell. A eukaryote is a cell with a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Plants, animals, and fungi are all eukaryotes. Here is a memory trick. Pro means before, as in before a true nucleus, and eu means true. A eukaryote has a true nucleus. So the single fastest test is no nucleus means prokaryote. A nucleus means eukaryote. Plant and animal cells are both eukaryotes, so they share the nucleus, the membrane, the mitochondria, and the ribosomes. But plant cells have three extras that animal cells do not. First, a stiff cell wall outside the membrane for support and structure. Second, green chloroplasts, which capture sunlight to make food by photosynthesis. And third, one large central vacuole for storing water. So when you need to spot a plant cell, look for these three together: a cell wall, chloroplasts, and a big vacuole. Chloroplasts especially are a dead giveaway. Now a real GED-style passage. A student looked at three cells under a microscope and wrote down which structures each one had. Cell A has a nucleus, a cell wall, chloroplasts, and mitochondria. Cell B has a nucleus and mitochondria, but no cell wall and no chloroplasts. Cell C has no nucleus at all. Do not jump to answers yet. Just read the evidence carefully, structure by structure. In the next step, we will use these clues to identify which cell is a plant, which is an animal, and which is a bacterium. Let's identify each cell with our method. Read, we already listed what each cell has. Choose, cell A has a cell wall and chloroplast together. That combination is the plant cell giveaway. So cell A is a plant cell. Cell B is a eukaryote because it has a nucleus, but it has no wall and no chloroplast. So cell B is an animal cell. Cell C has no nucleus, which makes it a prokaryote. So cell C is a bacterium. Check. No overclaiming here. The table names each structure directly, so these identifications are solid. Let's lock in the traps the GED loves about cells. 1. Assuming a cell wall means plant, but bacteria and fungi also have walls. The true plant signal is chloroplasts, a wall, and a big vacuole together. 2. Thinking the nucleus makes energy. No, the mitochondria release energy. The nucleus stores DNA. 3. Thinking bacteria have a nucleus. They do not. They are prokaryotes. 4. Mixing up the membrane and the wall. The membrane controls traffic. The wall gives support. The recap. Match each structure to its job and let the jobs carry the names. Beautiful work today. You can now match each cell part to its job, tell a prokaryote from a eukaryote, and spot a plant cell from its wall, chloroplasts, and vacuole. Your practice for this session is the 10 questions attached to this lesson. Answer them from memory, then read every explanation and log any miss as content with a one-line fix. To read the full lesson notes and practice more GED science questions, visit the course page at www.bridgetoexam.com. I am so glad you are here in life science with me. I will see you in session 6, where we follow the energy, photosynthesis, and cellular respiration. Keep going. You are doing great.